Our top story this hour, the Election Commission of India has released polling data for the second phase of voting Jammu and Kashmir's elections. These assembly elections are the first in almost a decade in the Union Territory, following the abrogation of Jammu and Kashmir's special status in 2019. Now, according to PK Poll, Chief Electoral Officer of Jammu and Kashmir, the voter turnout across the 6 districts that went to polls was recorded at 57.03% at the end of the day. As many as 20 of the 26 assembly segments have registered a lower voter turnout as compared to the 2014 assembly elections. On the other hand, 5 assembly segments in Srinagar district recorded a higher turnout than the 2014 polls. The constituency of Lal Chowk witnessed a turnout of 32%. However, voter turnout in none of these segments crossed the 38% mark. While all the constituencies saw a dip in the turnout, still registered an overall turnout of more than 50%. All right, for more on this, we're now being joined by our special correspondent, Idris Loan, joining us live from Srinagar. Idris, thank you so much for joining us. What can you tell us about the voter turnout? We have the numbers. What can you tell us about this?
Well, it was quite expected. Looking at the parliamentary elections that happened recently, and after that, the first phase of election that took place especially across the south of Kashmir, which once used to be known as the militancy hub, we saw huge number of people coming out in that phase as well. Although it was expected that Srinagar city will not have a huge voter turnout, but nevertheless, it's extremely better than what it used to be in the previous years. If we compare it to the last 4 decades, the turnout has always been below 10%. So if we compare places like Nauhatta, Lal Chowk, Haval, Khanyar, these places had seen a very less voter turnout, and the poll boycott really made an impact in the last 4 or 5 elections in these areas. But what we saw yesterday was extremely interesting and surprising, that people there as well came out in huge numbers, although not a great number, but still, if we compare it to the previous elections, it has been good. If we talk about the assembly elections taking place in Jammu and Kashmir, it's after 10 long years, and it's the first assembly election taking place after the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. And a lot of people that we spoke to, one of the reasons of coming out and casting their vote was also the fact that Jammu and Kashmir does not have a democratic setup at the moment. It's been run by the Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, and that's why they need representatives, local representation at the assembly level. And that's one of the reasons people coming out in huge numbers. What we saw yesterday in Budgam district also, which used to be where the voter turnout used to be extremely low, we saw people coming out in huge numbers, especially women as well. And when we spoke to them at the polling booth, they were of the opinion also that the girls have been going to colleges, universities, but ending up without a job. Unemployment really is one of the biggest issues that Jammu and Kashmir is grappling with, and that was also a reason for them to come out so that they can have a democratic government in place, and representatives from their villages, from their areas, who they can go to and discuss their problems with.
All right. Well, Idris, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on this. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.